Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Helldivers 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zero. Let's get to it. So we're checking on the progress of the Emergency Essential Personnel, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So, doing the emergency personnel evacuation has always been a challenge, and the development team has recognized that it's probably a little bit more challenging than they had originally intended. So now they had changed it to be a little bit not as chaotic. Now, if you have played this particular mission recently, you might not agree with that. You might say, I don't know if you actually changed anything because my team got overrun almost immediately and then we were never able to do anything about it. And that is very much possible, and it really depends partially, I think, on the faction that you're fighting against, the stratagems you bring in, and the strategy that you bring, or the mental game, I should say. So obviously you only have 15 minutes, so it's not very long. So you're going to want to get in and get out as quickly as you possibly can so that you can get those essential people out and then call in the dropship and make your way out. Now, as you are aware, as you can see on the screen, when you pull up the map, you can see how many samples are on the map. 40, this is a level 8, 40, 30, and 5. 40 common, 30 rare, and then of course the super samples are always the same if they're available. So the map is relatively large, and you can go around, or if you want, you can have one person go around the map trying to draw some of the fire from the automatons or the bugs, whatever faction you're fighting against, and then have everyone else take care of the essential personnel. So depending on the strategy you use, you can possibly get more or fewer samples. Man, those Hulks are something else, aren't they? Now, since they have added factory striders to the game, you are likely to see them on these missions now in greater numbers, as well as greater numbers of Bile Titans if you're fighting the bug faction. Now, going in, you can come in with a support weapon, you can come in with sentries, you can come in with eagles or orbitals. It's really up to you and your play style. Just understand that there are some stratagems that work a little bit better than others. If your whole team has sentries, you know, it's probably not the best strategy, because everyone could have sentries, but the problem really is that the sentries will run out of ammo, and then you've got no way to deal with any of the larger heavy armor enemies, which is a problem. So depending on what your teammates are bringing in could determine what you bring in, or you can bring in some sort of balanced stratagems where you have a support weapon and maybe a sentry and then an eagle and then an orbital or something like that. Like I said, partially depends on what your overall strategy is for the mission and what your teammates are bringing in as well. There we go. Right about 5 minutes in order to finish. We still have to extract, which will take another couple minutes. However, since there is some time left over, there is certainly time for one or more members of your team to go look for samples. Now, this was standard call-in for stratagems, which includes the shuttle. Sometimes I feel like the shuttle should not be included with that call-in time. Now, if you do have one member behind, they're probably just going to have to hang out and try to avoid any and all enemies. If you have multiple, you can probably shouldn't have any problem defending. Now, one change that they've made that I don't think was initially there when the game first came out is that the shuttle, when it first dropped, the shuttle was pretty much immune to all damage. So you didn't have to worry about the shuttle. It was basically like a tank with wings. Now the shuttle does appear to have health. It doesn't have a health bar just like anything else in the game. Except for yourself, there's no health bars for any of the enemies, etc. And that includes the shuttle. So when the shuttle comes in, you actually have to take care that your stratagems, that your weapons are not damaging it, because it will cause problems. What I've found is that if the shuttle is damaged too much, it won't allow all 4 people onto the shuttle. Additionally, if it is severely damaged, it'll take off without anyone. So that is certainly something that you need to be aware of. You'll see the shuttle looks just fine here as we go along. Because there was a jostling and you drop your stratagem wherever you happen to go, it causes problems. So you don't want your drop pod to go onto the shuttle, and you can see it's taking some damage. It's sparking and there's some fire. So continued damage is going to cause the shuttle to take off without anyone. So it really becomes important that you be careful. If you're worried about whether or not there's a lot of damage on it, you have one person, so everyone drop their samples and have one person pick them up and get out. Get on the shuttle first, and then everyone else follow. So then if the shuttle only allows one person to get on, if you've ever had it where the shuttle takes off immediately after one person gets on, I believe this is what happened to you. The shuttle was damaged, no longer had the ability for 4 Helldivers to get out, was only able to get 1 Helldiver out. The other thing is that if the shuttle is too badly damaged, shouldn't we be able to call in, like an alternate shuttle? Like, hey, you go take off. You're too badly damaged. We'll call in another one so we can get everyone out. To me, that's logical. and make sense, but maybe not logical enough.
Requesting sentry.
Alright, so we've got one guy that we're waiting on that is running around trying to grab some samples. Everyone else is defending because enemies are just continuing to pour in, not en masse, where it's just utter chaos, but insufficient numbers that if we were careless, it could cause a problem. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Calling down a sentry. Calling down a sentry. Calling down supply. Reinforcing.
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
Another victory for the right side of history.
PlayStation